So this happened 6 months ago. My husband and some of his friends are really fond of camping. They often go on trips where they camp, go hunting, and do boating. It's a hobby of theirs to go on such trips every now and then. They've traveled to many places across Pakistan. This time, they planned a trip towards Shit. When they went there, they camped right next to the river and even did boating at night. They really enjoyed the experience. Later, they told us about it, and we also started getting excited, thinking maybe we should go to Jhelum. Isn't that far? The Jhelum River has a wide stretch and many different areas along it. The specific area I am talking about is on the way to Mirpur there. It's a place called Dadial. When they made the plan again, they said this time the family should also come along and that they'd arrange our stay. They found a rest house. They're an old building that's still in use and well maintained. So we all went to our whole family and stayed there for 3 days. Our plan was to go to the river, do some boating, maybe catch some fish, have a barbecue, and just enjoy ourselves. It was an exciting plan for everyone. We reached there in the evening. The caretakers of the rest house were a couple, husband and wife. Their family had been taking care of the place for 20 to 25 years. Now, the couple was handling everything themselves. Since we arrived a bit late, we couldn't do much that first evening. We just drove around a little near the river, but it was dark, so we didn't do any boating or anything else. We had dinner and went to sleep. The next morning, after breakfast, we all got ready and decided to go to the river for boating and enjoy the trip. By then, it was afternoon. The plan was to enjoy boating first, and then later come back for a bonfire and barbecue by the riverside. As we reached the river and stepped out of the car, the very first thing I noticed was the silence. A stillness that I can't really explain. There were no people, no crowds, no vehicles, just absolute quiet. We were walking down a dirt road, right next to the river. The silence was so intense, it felt eerie, because the road ahead was rough and broken. People advised us not to take the car further down to the water, especially since kids were with us. So, we took a detour and drove over the bridge instead. We stopped in the middle of the bridge and got out to look at the water below. I can't describe how it felt. Everything was so silent. It was strange, like there was a mist in the air, even though it was afternoon and the sun was out. There was such stillness, as if no sign of life existed there. And the most unusual thing, I didn't see any birds. No birds flying above the water, nothing. It felt unnerving. I told myself maybe I was just overthinking it. But while we took some pictures there, the whole time I stood on the bridge, I had this intense feeling that we needed to leave, that we shouldn't be there. So we left and went to a spot a little farther from the river to set up our bonfire and prepare for the barbecue. Everyone sat around and started enjoying the food. There were cousins and friends with their families, lots of people. Everyone was laughing and playing with the kids. As time passed, the children naturally got tired. One by one, the parents took them inside to settle them. Some older kids had studying or things to watch, so they also went into their rooms. Eventually, just us adults remained outside with the caretaker couple, who were helping and serving us. After dinner, we all wanted some tea, as it had started to get cold. The conversations slowly began to touch on the strange atmosphere of the place. I asked everyone how they felt about the area. A few people said it was beautiful, but there was a sense of restlessness. One of my cousins said she felt extremely uneasy when we were standing on the bridge. I asked her why, and she said it just didn't feel right. Something felt off. That's when I realized I wasn't the only one who felt that way. It wasn't just in my head. We started discussing the place more deeply. My husband's friends mentioned that the local people had warned them many times not to go boating at night or not to pitch tents near the river after dark. They were told the place was dangerous. But being skeptics, they never believed in these stories. They thought the locals were uneducated and superstitious. so they ignored the warnings. That night, the caretaker couple brought us tea. I invited them to sit with us and chat. At first, they refused politely, saying they had to collect the cups later, but I insisted. When they finally sat down, I asked them directly, "You've been here a long time. Are these scary stories just myths, or is there something real behind them?" They looked nervous. They said, "We were actually going to tell you not to sit outside after It's not a good idea to be here at night." I asked, "Why?" "What's the reason? It's just a riverbank. If there's something you know, please tell us." The wife started talking. She said many strange incidents have happened here. Some people drowned in this very river and were never found. Others simply vanished. She explained that during monsoon season a few years ago, the river began behaving oddly. The water became eerily still, with a fog always hanging over it. No birds flew around, and there was complete silence. People noticed this unnatural change. She said the villagers believed that when work began on a nearby dam, the builders had dug up an old grave or something ancient buried beneath the river. After that, the atmosphere of the river changed completely. She recounted a story from her childhood. There used to be a man who ferried people across the river in a boat. One day, while ferrying people, his son Hoost was sitting quietly behind him, and the boat suddenly vanished. The man didn't hear a splash, didn't see the water move. He just turned around and his son was gone. People thought he had gone mad from the shock. He kept insisting that it was impossible for someone to fall into the river so quietly. Then there was a family whose boat capsized. 5 people drowned, and their bodies were never recovered. Only one person survived by swimming out. Later, some dead bodies were found floating ashore, but no one knew who they were. Their clothes didn't even match the local dress, suggesting they were from some faraway place. After that, villagers started having nightmares, disturbing dreams every night. They said that people in the village started having disturbing dreams every night. Someone or the other would have a nightmare. Some would wake up screaming. Others would say they saw people calling them from the river, telling them to come into the water. This started happening so frequently that people began moving their homes farther away from the riverside. Then that couple told us, "That's why we don't let our own children or family members come here after. We don't sit near the river at night and never let anyone go near the water after dark." We don't want to say it outright, but there is definitely something wrong with this place. After hearing all this, we were all just quiet for a moment. No one said anything. That evening, the mood of the entire group changed. People started talking more softly. Some even went inside early. And although we all acted normal on the surface, I think deep down, everyone was a bit shaken. After that night, we stayed one more day, but no one wanted to go near the water again. We spent most of our time inside or around the rest house. We still had fun and tried to enjoy ourselves, but that strange feeling, that uneasiness, it never really left us. Even now, when I remember that place, I feel that silence again. A silence so deep, it almost speaks to you. It's hard to explain, but sometimes places hold energy, some good, some not so good. And that place, that river. So now, whenever my husband or his friends talk about going camping or boating again, we all look at each other and say, "Not there. Anywhere but there."